Rick and his team discovered a terrifying secret beneath Oak Island, a swamp that had been a secret for centuries. They found a deadly trap set long ago, designed to stop treasure hunters. As they dug deeper, they discovered an oddly shaped metal artifact, corroded yet intact, which was not junk but had weight, purpose, and design. The swamp, always a suspicious place, was giving up its own secrets, with strange objects surfaced over the years. A massive wooden structure, buried deep in the swamp, looked eerily similar to an ancient dam or wall, suggesting that someone had once built a system to manipulate water levels here to hide something monumental. Dr. Ian Spooner, the team's geoscientist, was brought in to analyze the wood, which connected to a stone road nearby estimated to be around 500 years old. This would prove that this site had been a hub of activity long before modern records suggested. A circle of stones near the money pit, intentionally arranged, sparked theories about a marker, warning, or something left behind by a group that knew the island's true purpose. As the team dug deeper, fragments of wood and relics older than Oak Island itself were found, indicating that someone had been here long before any recorded settlement. Theories about the Knights Templar resurfaced, suggesting that they had hidden something here centuries ago and why they went to such great lengths to keep it secret. Each new clue twisted the story even further, making it seem like they were unlocking something they weren't supposed to find. More artifacts surfaced, including a centuries-old weapon, hinting at violence. The truth was getting closer, but the closer they got, the more it felt like they were unlocking something they weren't supposed to find. The team of explorers, including Rick Lagena, were entangled in a mystery that had been unsolved for generations. They were witnessing something far greater than they had ever imagined, and whatever lay beneath Oak Island was not just valuable, but dangerous. The stormy weather and rough terrain only made things worse, and the feeling of disturbing something should have been left untouched was nagging. Rick and his brother Marty had always been fascinated with lost treasures and ancient stories, and as they dug deeper, new finds raised more doubts. The island was hiding something much bigger than they had imagined. In 2006, Rick and Marty bought half of Oak Island Tours Inc. and took the first real step toward uncovering the island's secrets. The latest excavation led them to the garden shaft, a deep, narrow passage that had been causing a stir. As they dug deeper, the weirder things got. A wooden passageway from the 17th century, but the missing sections of the walls and ceiling? That was something else entirely. The real shocker came when water started rushing in through the boreholes, flooding the shaft. This meant that the flood tunnels had been triggered, which had stopped treasure hunters for over 200 years. Rick and his team weren't giving up easily, and they pumped out the water and pressed on. The deeper they went, the more unsettling the discoveries became. Huge wooden beams, their shapes unlike anything the team had seen before, were part of something bigger. And then there was the metal. Early tests had hinted at traces of gold and silver beneath the surface, but now they had more than hints. Water samples confirmed it. There was something down there, something worth hiding. Gary Drayton, the team's metal detecting expert, was called in, and within moments of sweeping his detector over the dig site, it started beeping like crazy. What he pulled out of the dirt wasn't just an old scrap of metal, it was something different, something old, that changed everything. Oak Island, a mysterious island, has been a subject of fascination for years. As the crew digs deeper into the swamp, they discover new clues that deepen the mystery. Strange markings on wooden beams suggest a form of writing, possibly an unknown language or secret code left by those who built the tunnels centuries ago. Experts are called in to analyze the carvings, but answers are slow to come. As the crew continues to push forward, they realize that the bigger prize is the truth. As they continue their search, they encounter a ship's railing, dating back centuries, which they believe is part of a larger story. Dr. Doug Simons also believes that the wood pieces are part of a larger plan, a shipwreck or barricade. They call in geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner to analyze the wood and determine its age, as it could be part of a bigger plan. On the northern side, Marty Lagena and Dr. Spooner find a large stone that has puzzled researchers for years. possibly linked to the Knights Templar, an ancient order rumored to have hidden treasures. Billy finds a massive boulder sitting on what appears to be a man-made structure, which they decide to move and see underneath. A piece of wood wedged beneath it suggests someone had moved this boulder on purpose, possibly to control water flow in the swamp. The next day, they return with layers of tree stumps and wood in a part of the swamp where trees shouldn't grow, suggesting someone had altered the land to their needs. The island was not just hiding secrets, it had been modified to keep them buried. The deeper they went, the more the now. With every shovel of dirt, every scan of the soil, and every painstaking analysis, they're closing in on an answer. A rare object is found, pointing to something much bigger hidden on Oak Island. Oak Island, a site of ancient treasures, has been the subject of a series of discoveries and investigations. The discovery of high-quality lead glass suggests that the island's treasure is not just gold and silver, but also a collection of elite, high-value artifacts of immense worth centuries ago. The Duc d'Anville expedition, which took place in 1746, was a major French military effort aimed at reclaiming Nova Scotia from the British. The fleet carried thousands of soldiers, tons of supplies, and likely valuables intended for trade or payment. Given the disastrous outcome of the expedition, it is entirely plausible that survivors or deserters ended up on Oak Island, possibly stashing whatever riches they had left in a secret location. Some researchers have long speculated that the island served as a hiding spot for military funds, loot, or even religious relics. If a member of the French elite left behind an expensive gemstone imitation, it could be part of a larger hoard. The mix of European artifacts, including Spanish coins and English items, hints at a history far more complex than a single culture's influence. Oak Island might not just hold a pirate's chest. It could be the last resting place of treasures from multiple nations, hidden for safekeeping and long forgotten. Advancements in technology have given the team an edge previous explorers lacked. Ground-penetrating radar, sonar scanning, and detailed chemical analysis of artifacts are helping piece together a puzzle that has stumped treasure hunters for centuries. The discovery of the lead-glass gemstone reinforces the need for deeper exploration. If more items of similar origin are found, it could confirm that Oak Island was indeed a site of secret wealth, perhaps even part of an organized effort to secure valuables away from prying eyes. The weight of history hangs over every discovery, with the thrill of the hunt mixed with a sense of responsibility. To piece together a lost chapter, to honor those who may have hidden these relics for reasons we may never fully understand. The excitement builds with each new clue, each new possibility. The final answer to Oak Island's mystery is bound to be more astonishing than anyone could have predicted. The team worked tirelessly for weeks, finally discovering a tunnel that was beyond what the human eye could see. The footage confirmed that the tunnels were not just a theory, but a passage lined with expertly arranged stones. Speculation soared to new heights, with some believing they had been built as escape routes centuries ago, designed to transport treasure or secret documents from one location to another. Others theorized that they were part of an elaborate booby trap system, created to protect something buried even deeper. As the team continued to uncover more secrets, they discovered a stone slab unlike any they had encountered before. This slab bore faint etchings, worn away by the centuries, but still visible enough to suggest deliberate markings. Historians pointed out that the type of stone used in the construction bore an uncanny resemblance to quarry sites in Europe, specifically those utilized by medieval builders. This led to the possibility that Oak Island's underground structures had ties to an ancient, secretive order. The next phase of excavation called for technology that previous generations of treasure hunters could have only dreamed of. With ground-penetrating radar and 3D mapping, a clearer image of the tunnel system took shape. This wasn't just a single tunnel, it was a vast, interconnected labyrinth. Whoever had built it hadn't just hidden something. They had gone to extraordinary lengths to ensure it remained hidden forever. Further analysis of the markings on the stone slab led to another stunning revelation. Experts in historical cryptography found similarities between these symbols and those found in old Masonic texts, adding fuel to a long-standing theory that Oak Island was not just a site of buried treasure, but a repository of lost knowledge, safeguarded by those who had understood its value. With the utmost precision, the team prepared for the next stage of excavation, which involved deep scanning and a small opening revealing an empty space beyond. The team widened the gap just enough to insert a light, and what they saw sent a shiver down their spines. With the utmost caution, they retrieved the artifact, which had undeniable craftsmanship and hinted at a purpose beyond decoration. If they could trace its origins, it might finally provide the breakthrough they had been chasing for so long. Proponents argue that Shakespeare's works contain hidden messages, codes, and references to Bacon's life and ideas, which would not have been apparent to the general public at the time. This raises the question of whether Bacon would have gone to great lengths to conceal them for future generations to discover. The connection to Sir Francis Bacon is particularly intriguing, as he was a philosopher, scientist, and statesman who was also deeply interested in alchemy and the preservation of knowledge. Some researchers have speculated that Bacon used Oak Island as a place to hide his manuscripts, protecting them from prying eyes. The idea that Shakespeare's manuscripts could be hidden on Oak Island is both thrilling and mysterious. The thought that these manuscripts could hold the key to understanding the true authorship of some of the world's greatest literary works is a tantalizing prospect. However, there is still no hard evidence to definitively prove that the lost manuscripts of Shakespeare or Bacon are buried on Oak Island. The ongoing search for treasure on the island has kept the possibility alive, with each new discovery adding another layer to the mystery. For those who believe in the theory, the search for lost manuscripts is not just about finding treasure, but about uncovering a piece of history that could rewrite our understanding of one of the most famous authors in the world. The idea of Shakespeare's manuscripts being buried on Oak Island also speaks to a larger theme of preservation and secrecy. The mystery of Oak Island, if it truly holds these manuscripts, could be more than just a search for treasure. It could be a search for lost knowledge that has the potential to change our understanding of the past. The Viking connection to Oak Island is primarily rooted in the idea that the Vikings, known for their extensive exploration of North America centuries before Christopher Columbus, may have used the island as a stop or secret location for hiding treasures or leaving clues. The discovery of various artifacts on the island that some experts believe can be traced to Viking origins has spurred a deeper look into the possibility that the Vikings had a hand in the construction of the island's strange structures and the hiding of objects below its surface. The Viking connection to Oak Island is supported by the discovery of artifacts that resemble Viking methods, such as a medieval crossbow bolt found on the island in the 19th century. Other metal and wooden artifacts have been scientifically traced back to Scandinavia, indicating that Vikings were active in the area long before European explorers reached the New World. The Vikings may have had knowledge of the island and its surroundings well before European explorers formally charted the area. Historical accounts and archaeological evidence show that Vikings were excellent navigators and seafarers, capable of crossing vast expanses of ocean in their longships. Some researchers believe that the Vikings could have traveled farther down the North American coast, possibly to Oak Island, where they could have hidden treasures or left markings to signal their presence to future explorers. Another key element in the Viking connection to Oak Island is the possibility that the Vikings may have passed down knowledge of the island's significance to later explorers, including the Templars. Researcher Dr. Doug Siemens has proposed that the Vikings and the Templars may have collaborated, with the Vikings serving as navigators who helped the Templars cross the Atlantic. This theory suggests that the Vikings were instrumental in helping the Templars reach the New World, including the possibility that Oak Island was a destination for their sacred relics. While the evidence linking the Vikings to Oak Island is not conclusive, it is compelling. The presence of Viking artifacts, symbols, and structures on the island provides a tantalizing glimpse into the possibility that the Vikings played a significant role in the island's mystery. As more evidence continues to surface, the link between Viking exploration and the treasures hidden on the island will likely remain a subject of intense interest and investigation for years to come. The alien artifact theory is a fascinating concept that connects to the concept of infinite space. The universe contains billions of galaxies, each with its own collection of stars, planets, and potential life forms. If extraterrestrial civilizations exist, they could possess technologies far beyond anything we can imagine. Artifacts found on Oak Island, particularly those that defy conventional explanation, could be seen as a key to unlocking that knowledge. The connection between Oak Island and infinity space also ties into the ongoing search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Scientists have been scanning the skies for signals or signs of alien life, hoping to make contact with civilizations beyond our own. Some speculate that Oak Island could be a focal point of such an endeavor, with hidden messages or artifacts from otherworldly beings placed there as a way of communicating with future generations of Earthlings. These artifacts, if they exist, could serve as a bridge between humanity and the infinite cosmos, offering insights into the possibilities of life beyond our planet. The theory of alien artifacts on Oak Island fits within the broader context of unexplained phenomena that have been reported throughout history. Many cultures have stories of gods or star beings who visited Earth in the distant past, bringing knowledge and technology. Oak Island, with its long history of mysterious discoveries, is a natural location for such theories to take root. The discovery of a gold-plated button, possibly a cuff button, deep within the Oak Island money pit, has sent ripples of excitement through the search team. While it is not the massive treasure they had hoped for, the find could be a pivotal clue in solving the island's long-standing mystery. The button was unearthed in a deep and unexplored part of the money pit, a location that had long been untouched. The gold-plated button's presence raises more questions than answers, as it suggests that the island's mysterious past is linked to the military in some way. The team is now starting to piece together the clues and is zeroing in on something significant that could date back to the mid-70s.